Boom, Wednesday, 4th of June, Queen's speech. Oh, fucking lizard fucking mouth spouting off from her fucking £1 million seat, with a £1 million hat. She's talking about 5p on a shopping bag. Everyone's going fucking mental. You can't charge 5p. How are you going to carry stuff back from Aldi's? What are you going to do? You got to carry your hands? Nah, fuck that. I'd rather pollute the shit out of the planet, dig up all the natural resources in the world. I'd rather do anything than have to put in a little bit of work to carry my shopping home from Tesco's. 5p? Saving the planet's not worth 5p. It's just a fucking bum argument, if you ask me. And the real fucking story is what they've put. The media's trying to whip people up into a frenzy about this 5p issue, because that's an issue. It's not really an issue, but it's something that's in most people's lives. It affects us all. So you know everyone's going to have an opinion on this 5p bullshit. Whereas the real fucking story they should be having an opinion on is that the Queen's making it legal for fracking companies to just dig up under your house. They can just dig under your house. They don't need your permission. And the cap on the compensation that they're going to give you is 50 quid. So if they find £1 million off of shale gas underneath your house, you get 50 quid. They don't even have to ask you, they just tell you that they're digging under it. And when they've sucked all the gas out from the fucking underneath your house, what, you think that in your house just sinks into the fucking hole that it's made of? You think that they're probably going to have written some law in it that stops you from suing the company? Who knows? It just seems a bit fucking devious to me. Why is everyone talking about 5p? Why is no one talking about fracking? All they want to talk about is how good fracking is. You never hear the detrimental effects of fracking. You get David Cameron telling them that local councils are going to make hundreds of thousands. We're going to give you the proceeds of all this money to you, the local council. Why don't they just build loads of wind farms and give the proceeds of the wind farms to local councils? It's fucking retarded. You got people where I live protesting against a wind farm because it's gonna be too noisy, or you're gonna get a little bit of shadow flicker. So they don't want that. But no one's gonna get up on their high horse about fracking, because apart from a well, you can't see anything. When are people going to realise that there are more important issues other than the issues that they're spoon feeding you? You want to have the issue like right on your fucking. It's got to affect you, and if it doesn't affect you, or your neighbour, your wife, or your kids, I don't give a fuck about them. I don't give a fuck about the immigrants. There's no shale gas around where I live. Who gives a fuck? As long as I don't have to deal with the direct consequences, the government can do what they like. And why has the Queen even got a fucking say? Why does the Queen even have a say in what goes on in Parliament? What has it got to do with the Queen? It's got nothing to do with the Queen. She's born into her powers. The Queen, she must go. She must go. She must abdicate right fucking now. Take the whole rest of her family with her. You've seen what they've done in Spain. The king abdicated. The king was put there by Franco, the fascist. And he's still in power now, and he's abdicated, and the people of Spain have come out en masse to call for a referendum, to say we don't need a monarchy in this country. Why do we need it's just like a propaganda power? It's like the head of the pyramid power. It's just an expression of fucking unfairness and injustice and inequality. It's just like it's just a reminder. So to tell you, the royal family is just a reminder to tell you, you're one of the poor people, we're one of the rich people. Stay in your fucking place. That's all it's there for. It's just like you gotta have someone at the head of the hierarchy. That's all us peasants are gonna go fucking mental and just fight and kill each other, rob each other. What is that? People are like, oh, but she generates so much tourism. People would go to Buckingham Palace, whether or not the Queen's there. They don't go there to see the fucking Queen. It's not as if she's there, like, greeting loads of tourists. They just go and look at the fucking house. And that's it. mean, I'm sure people would come to London if the Queen didn't exist. I'm sure they'd find a way to open Parliament if the Queen didn't exist. Why? Why? Just why? Just take all that tax money. She's the biggest benefit thief everyone's moaning about Benefit Street, saying that these fuckers getting money for nothing. They don't do anything. What does the Queen do? She just sits there. She opens hospitals and then she flies to like fucking Uganda and speaks to some diplomats. She sells some fucking arms while she's there. But it's just, she gets paid for that. We pay for that. Tax money pays for the Queen. She's got a fucking £1 million hat. She should just give that shit up. She must go. The whole royal family, they all must go. All of them. They don't deserve that. Well, because you were born into it. William and Harry, they're born into it. And then they send them off to the army to kill loads of fucking Afghans. As if that's going to make us proud. Oh, he's killed some Afghans. Well done. Yeah, he's a real British man. That Prince fucking Harry, yeah. He's real British. He'll go and fight in our wars for us. That's what normal British people do. Join the army, go and kill some foreigners, bring back some wealth. Job done. That's essentially what the royal family has been doing for the last 500 years. Built on slavery, oil money, corruption, greed. That's all the royal family represents. Is fucking like some medieval hierarchy of power where you're born into it. When she sell her hat, she sell all her corgis. What? She cares about her subjects that much. Sell your shit. How many fucking bedrooms are there in Buckingham Palace? Give that shit up to the homeless people in London. Why don't, instead of the butlers and the fucking chefs and all the people you've got cooking food for you in the fucking Buckingham Palace, why don't you get them to go down to a soup kitchen and cook some food for some people that are fucking really hungry? Why don't you give some food to some food banks? And then everyone's like, oh, but the work she does for charity is so amazing. Well, I'm not buying it, personally. I'm sure they could have someone else to do that work instead of the Queen. She's unnecessary. She doesn't need all that fucking lavish gold. She doesn't need the biggest house in London. She's got nothing to do with Parliament. Get her out of opening Parliament. The Queen's speech. Instead of introducing, the government are just pussies. They can't even get themselves. David Cameron can't even fucking stand up for his own shitty policies of going against their land rights, of fracking underneath their front doors. He can't even stand by his own policies to introduce them to the nation himself. He has to get the Queen to do it, because the majority of people will just say, well, if the Queen says it, then, you know, it must be important. Stand by your own fucking policies, David Cameron. Introduce them. You go out into the street and tell people, knock on everyone's door and tell them you're going to be fracking under their homes and there's nothing you can do about it. Why don't you go and personally give that information to people instead of fucking hiding behind the Queen? Just fucking... They all must go. They all must go.